Tensions between Iran, the United States, and Israel have intensified sharply in recent weeks, with military confrontations unfolding alongside an escalating information war. At the center of the latest dispute is the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, a massive warship deployed in the Middle East as part of a carrier strike group supporting American military operations in the region. Conflicting claims about whether the vessel was attacked by Iran have spread rapidly across media platforms, highlighting how modern warfare is increasingly fought not only with missiles and drones, but also with narratives, digital imagery, and competing versions of the truth. On March 15, U.S. President Donald Trump firmly rejected claims that the USS Abraham Lincoln had been struck by Iranian forces. The allegations had circulated widely online and were accompanied by images purporting to show the American aircraft carrier burning at sea. In a statement posted on social media, the president accused Tehran of orchestrating a coordinated disinformation campaign involving artificial intelligence and sympathetic media outlets. Donald Trump said, Iran, working in close coordination with the fake news media, shows our great USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, one of the largest and most prestigious ships in the world, burning uncontrollably in the ocean. He insisted that the images circulating online were fabricated and intended to create the illusion that Iran had successfully attacked one of the United States' most powerful naval assets. Donald Trump said those images and reports were completely fabricated and designed to create a false impression that Iran had successfully struck one of America's most powerful warships. Trump further accused Iran of using artificial intelligence to manufacture false battlefield victories and manipulate public perception of the conflict. Analysts say that AI-generated images and videos have increasingly appeared online during the war, making it more difficult for audiences to distinguish fact from fabrication. The USS Abraham Lincoln itself is one of the largest warships ever built. As a Nimitz-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, it serves as a floating military base capable of launching dozens of fighter jets while carrying thousands of sailors and aviation personnel. The ship is typically accompanied by destroyers, cruisers, submarines, and supply vessels, forming a carrier strike group that represents one of the most formidable military formations in the world. The carrier has been operating in the Gulf of Oman and the wider Arabian Sea as tensions between Iran and Western powers have risen sharply. Its presence is intended to deter Iranian military actions and support U.S. operations throughout the region. The controversy surrounding the ship began earlier in March when Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed that its naval drone units had struck the aircraft carrier while it was operating roughly 340 kilometers from Iranian territorial waters. Iranian officials stated that the attack forced the American carrier strike group to withdraw farther away from Iranian waters. 2 days later, Iranian state television aired footage that it claimed showed missiles being launched toward the USS Abraham Lincoln. The broadcast quickly circulated across social media and regional news outlets. However, American officials rejected the claims and said the footage did not prove that the ship had been hit. U.S. Central Command confirmed that the carrier remained fully operational and continued conducting missions in the region. Military officials said the vessel was still launching aircraft and maintaining routine flight operations. The Pentagon also emphasized that there was no evidence that the carrier had suffered any damage. The disagreement between Tehran and Washington illustrates how information warfare has become a critical component of modern conflict. Governments increasingly attempt to shape public perception through strategic messaging, propaganda, and digital content. Experts say the current conflict between Iran and its adversaries has seen an unprecedented surge in manipulated videos and misleading images circulating online. Iranian state media has frequently portrayed the country's military operations as major successes against American and Israeli targets, while Western officials accuse Tehran of exaggerating or fabricating battlefield victories. The broader conflict itself began on February 28, when U.S. and Israeli forces launched coordinated strikes on Iranian military and nuclear facilities. In response, Iran fired large numbers of ballistic missiles and drones at targets across the region, including American military installations in Gulf states and Israeli territory. Since the start of the war, missile and drone attacks have been reported in multiple countries, including Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, and Iraq, where U.S. forces are stationed. The escalating conflict has disrupted shipping routes in the Persian Gulf and raised fears about the security of the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy corridors. As the war entered its third week, Iranian officials issued stark warnings that the most destructive phase of the conflict may still lie ahead. Brigadier General Ali Mohammed Naini, a senior spokesman for Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, said the weapons used so far represent only a small portion of Iran's arsenal. Ali Mohammed Naini said the weapons seen on the battlefield so far represent only a fraction of Iran's military arsenal. He also claimed that many of the missiles currently being launched were produced more than a decade ago and that newer systems remain unused. Ali Mohammed Naini said many of the missiles we have produced since the 12-day war until the Ramadan war have not yet been deployed. According to Naini, Iran still possesses significant reserves of advanced missile technology capable of striking targets across the Middle East and beyond. Iran is widely believed to maintain one of the largest and most diverse missile arsenals in the region. Over the past decade, the country has invested heavily in developing ballistic and cruise missiles designed to strike targets up to 2,500 kilometers away. These weapons form the backbone of Iran's military doctrine and are seen as a strategic deterrent against technologically superior adversaries. Iranian missile systems include several families of medium-range ballistic missiles capable of reaching Israel and U.S. military bases across the Gulf region. Despite heavy international sanctions aimed at limiting Iran's military capabilities, the country has continued to expand and refine its missile programs, improving both their accuracy and destructive power. The Air Commander also claimed that Iran has fired hundreds of missiles and thousands of drones since the beginning of the war, while still retaining significant stockpiles of weapons. Iranian officials have framed their military actions as retaliation for attacks carried out by the United States and Israel against Iranian territory and leadership. The rhetoric coming from Tehran has been highly charged, emphasizing themes of resistance, revenge, and national honor. In a speech addressing supporters and families affected by the conflict, one Iranian leader delivered a message about the country's determination to retaliate against its enemies. Ali Mohammed Naini said, under any circumstances, we will exact reparations from the enemy. He also emphasized that Iran would continue seeking revenge for those killed during the war. Ali Mohammed Naini said, we will under no circumstances ever abandon the rightful vengeance for the spilled blood of your martyrs. Such statements highlight the emotional intensity surrounding the conflict and the political pressure on Iranian leaders to demonstrate strength. Meanwhile, the United States has continued to expand its military operations. On March 13, U.S. forces carried out a large bombing raid on Karg Island, a key Iranian oil export hub in the Persian Gulf. The strikes targeted more than 90 Iranian military facilities, but avoided oil infrastructure in order to prevent global energy disruptions. American officials said the operation was designed to weaken Iran's military capacity and reduce its ability to threaten shipping routes in the Strait of Hormuz. The attack marked one of the most significant escalations in the war so far. At the same time, the presence of American aircraft carriers and naval forces in the region continues to play a central role in the conflict. Carrier strike groups allow the United States to project power far from its shores, providing both offensive and defensive capabilities in contested regions. The USS Abraham Lincoln remains a symbol of that military power. For Iran, demonstrating the ability to challenge such a formidable asset would represent a major propaganda victory. For the United States, protecting the carrier and maintaining its operational readiness is critical to preserving military credibility and deterrence. The conflicting narratives surrounding the alleged attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln show how modern conflicts increasingly involve parallel battles over perception and information. Missiles, drones, and airstrikes dominate the physical battlefield, while social media, propaganda, and digital imagery shape public understanding of events. For now, there is no independent evidence confirming that the aircraft carrier was ever struck. Both sides continue to stand by their claims, with Iran insisting it delivered a successful strike and the United States dismissing the allegations as fabricated propaganda. As the war continues to unfold, the battle over narratives may become just as consequential as the fighting itself. And with both sides warning that the worst may still be ahead, the conflict in the Middle East appears far from reaching its conclusion.